Hello and welcome to the in-depth series of Drishti IAS. My name is Pooja Dwivedi. Another mass shooting has been registered in the USA. What is the problem with the USA when it comes to the gun policy, the gun culture? Why is it becoming so hard for the US Congress to regulate the gun culture of the USA? We are going to find all about that. The normalization of mass shooting, the desensitization of the world towards the gun culture of the USA is leading us to inhumanity. What is this? We are going to discuss that in detail. First of all, let us have a look on the different topics that we are going to discuss. As you can see, the backdrop of the background, the USA gun policy, mass shootings. What are these? Previous federal ban on assault weapons. Federal ban means the bans which is there due to the laws brought out by different states of the USA. The relapse of these particular ban, there was a ban and it relapsed in 2004. Who governs access to firearms in the USA and why is it so hard to have a law? Other than that, many facets will also be discussed step by step. 7 people were killed in 2 separate shootings which happened at agricultural facilities in California's coastal town of San Francisco on Monday. And this is the state's third mass killing in 8 days. So this is a cause of concern. Now, why does the civilian population have guns in their homes? Because it is mandated by the Constitution of USA. The Second Amendment to the US Constitution says that the Americans have the right to bear arms. And this was done when USA started becoming a nation. After the colonial suppression happened, the USA thought that it is necessary for the Americans to bear arms for their own protection. And about a third of US adults, they say that they personally own a gun. 4 in 10 US adults say that they live in a household with gun, including 30% of those who say that they personally own one. Personal protection tops the list of reasons why guns are possessed by those. Other than that, around half of Americans, that is 48%, they see gun violence as a very big problem. That is a good point. Attitude about gun violence, it differs widely by race, by ethnicity, by political affiliations. Roughly half of Americans, that is 53%, they favor stricter gun laws, specifically that there has been a decline since 2019, and the rural population does not favor gun laws, the urban one does. There is broad partisan agreement on some gun policy proposal, but most are politically divisive. There is a difference between the Democrats and the Republicans when it comes to gun policies. Mass shooting in the US are on the rise. As you can see, the increase since 2020 has become immense. And as of 2023, there were 39 incidents of, people killed or injured, not incidents of mass shooting, but people killed or injured in the mass shooting. 24,292 were suicide, 19,384 are homicide, in which 611 were legal intervention, 535 unintentional, and 400 undetermined as of yet. Now, as you can see, an international comparison of gun-related violence as a percentage of all homicides. Homicide means killing of another human being. You can see for US in 2020, it was 79%, for UK it was just 4%, Canada 37%, and Australia 13%, neighbors. Then moving ahead, if we talk about the top 10 civilian gun owning countries, that means in countries where civilians own a gun, people like us, USA tops it. Then we have Yemen, Serbia, Montenegro, Uruguay, Canada, Cyprus, Finland, Lebanon, and Iceland. All right. Then how Americans feel about US gun law? This narrative is also changing. 57% of the people want stricter laws, kept as of now, 32% out of those, and 10% say that there should be less strict laws. And it is changing, okay? And it is increasing, you can see. And now, here, we are registering a decline when it comes to stricter policies. Moving ahead now, if we talk about the other portion, mass shooting. What is mass shooting? First of all, let us understand that. See, mass shooting is not defined as of the US. Any definition, official definition is not there. And in the last 3 years, there have been more than 600 mass shootings. Also, if we talk about US, it doesn't have any proper definition, but the Gun Violence Archive, it defines a mass shooting as an incident in which 4 or more people are injured or killed. Their figure includes shootings that happen both in homes and public spaces, and the deadliest such attack was happened in Las Vegas, in which more than 50 people were killed. Now, what are assault weapons? As the Joe Biden administration is talking about banning assault weapons, see, assault weapons, according to the lobby, which doesn't want stricter gun laws, says that it is just a narrative. It is just a propaganda. There is no such thing as assault weapons. But as traditionally we have to define it, it is a semi-automatic gun which is designed for military use, and it has select fire capabilities. It can fire selectively. These are uniquely lethal. Why? Because the rapid rate at which they can fire, and they have high muzzle velocity, they can't be heard. Now, a high capacity magazine is defined as any magazine, like a high capacity magazine. What is this? This is any magazine or drum which is capable of holding more than 10 or 15 ammunition. And this is the problem. According to research where assault weapons or high capacity magazines are used, 155% more people are shot because it has high capacity, so it can shoot many people. And 47% of those are killed. Now, very importantly, I have to give you an example of a high capacity assault rifle. If we have to talk about assault rifle, AR-15 rifle, which is known as America's rifle, in our January 2016 blog post, came to the fore. This was from the National Rifle Association, which doesn't want stricter gun laws. Last year's deadly Uvalde shooting in Texas to 2018 Stoneman Douglas High School shooting, in which 17 people died, this particular America's rifle was used. Moving ahead, if we talk about federal ban, was there any sort of ban on the guns? There was, but it relapsed in 2004. This country had more than enough time to renew this, but it did not. Series of shootings happened in Stockton, California, and on 101 California Street in 1993, which ensured that a gun federal ban on such weapons is there. So in 2004, California Senator Dianne Feinstein authored this particular law, which was the Public Safety and Recreational Firearms Use Protection Act. And this was also known as Federal Assault Weapons Ban, which is actually a subsection of the Violent Crimes Control and Law Enforcement Act of 1994 only. So there was, a ban on it, but it was not renewed. The law basically back then prohibited the manufacture, transfer or possession of a semi-automatic assault weapon. And it also banned magazines that could accommodate 10 rounds or more. However, the law allowed those who already had these guns. So status quo for them was maintained. But in order to ensure that the senators support this, there was a sunset clause that was introduced that, okay, for 10 years, it is going to be there until and unless the Congress renews it. But the Congress did not renew it. So it relapsed. From 1994 to 2004, it was there. The sale and manufacture of the firearms was once again brought back into force on 13 September 2004. And this is effective or not, this ban was effective or not, can be gauged from the fact that between the years 1994 to 2004, only 89 people died in 12 massacres. But from 2004 to 2014, there have been 34 mass shootings, which killed 300 people. So please, there is no question about ban works or not. 390 million guns are in circulation around the world as of 2018. The US ratio on this is 120.5 firearms per 100 residents, which is up from 88 per 100 in 2011. A study was also published by the Annals of Internal Medicine in February, in which 7.5 million US adults, they became the first new gun owners between January 2019 and April 2021. It's a very proliferate industry in the US. Now, who governs the access to guns? See, access to firearms in the US is governed by a different number of federal statutes, such as different state laws, okay, which takes into account the production, sale, possession, transfer, record keeping, transportation and disposal of firearms, ammunition and firearms accessories as well. state agencies and the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosive enforce them. So remember this in addition to that. Also, in addition to this federal statutes, every state and some local government also have their own laws to govern firearms. There is no such central law. Currently, 9 states such as Illinois, Delaware, California, Connecticut, Hawaii, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey and New York and Washington DC, they have banned assault weapons. And 2 more regulate elements of their possession or purchase. But the National Rifle Association is against it, saying that it is given in the Constitution, it is against the Constitution to ban such assault rifles. Now, why is it so hard to have a law? First of all, there is no consensus in the political culture of it. Other than that, the industry is very proliferate. US's economy thrives on arms and ammunition, not only within the country, but also, outside the country. Other than that, the colonial past of the USA dictates it to have its own gun policy in such a manner that every American has a right for holding it. We need to ensure awareness in the US community. The US only can do that. And there is also a need of consensus within the parties. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching and stay updated.